record. Alice's working speed is 60 meters per minute. It takes her 15 minutes to walk to home. Okay, so home and school, right? So 15 minutes. Okay, so a lot of students just like 60 times 15 equals 900 meters, which is right because that's a distance from Alice's home to school. And how long does it take her to go to school if she cycles at a speed of 3 times of her walk? So 60 times 3 equals 180 meters per minute. So 900 divided by 180 equals 5 minutes. Okay, so that is a regular working way. So based on that, it takes about like 2 minutes, something like that, after you read questions and do the graphs and everything, right? So now I'm going to introduce one thing, okay? So the thing is, we're thinking about this one based on the variable, okay? For instance, Serena, we know the speed times time equals distance, correct? Everybody know that, right? So let me ask you, okay? So this is very important. So for instance, if we have 60 times 15 equals 900. So this is equation, that's a speed, that's a time, that's the distance, right? So let's talk about the second one. So the second one is the speed is being raised up by 3, right? 3 times more, right? Okay, so Serena, in this equation, time is changed, but distance is never changed, correct? Alice is still coming from home to school, so that's why in order to, so we have 2 variables, okay? So 2 values and times together equals distance. So in order to keep the distance the same, so because the speed has increased by 3 times, so the time need to be what? Emma?
Divide.
Very good, very good. Understand? Okay, so this is very important, okay, because the left side of the equation is actually being increased by 3 times, right? So in order to make the right side not change anything, the other one must what? Divided by 3. So for this question, the fastest way to do is actually 15 divided by 3 equals 5 minutes, and that's it. Understand, everybody? Okay, so that's the same thing, okay? So for instance, if I told you, okay, so Shane's speed is 40 meters per minute, okay? And she walk from home to school is 20 minutes, okay? It's a little bit long, okay? But now the school has changed to the somewhere like double the speed distance, okay? So if Shinshin is still keep the walking speed, she's not cycling, how much time she need to go from home to school? So do we have to do anything? No, because speed times time equals distance, right? So this time, distance has times 2, correct? And speed remain the same. We're not touching that. So in order to make the equation still working, we need to do what? The times
2
as well. So that's why all you need to do is 20 times 2 equals 40 minutes. Understand, everybody? So if you have this equation established in your brain, so actually every question became much easier than before. Okay, so let's take a look at number 2. Okay, Peter walks from the shopping mall to the park. At the same time, Jane walks from the park to the shopping mall. The speed is 60 meters per minute and 70 respectively. How far is the park from the shopping mall if 2 of them meet 15 meters away from the midpoint? So that's still the same thing as the question we learned in school, right? So we're not going to take a look at this one. So let's take a look at number 1, okay, for the 3. A cyclist takes 3 hours to cycle from point A to point B at a speed of 10 kilometers per hour. He returns to the point A from this point B with a speed of 30 kilometers per hour. What is average speed for the whole trip? Okay, so those kind of question is being testified in a lot of mathematical questions, and a lot of students is going to make mistakes. The biggest possibility people is going to make is 10 plus 30 divided by 2 equals 20 kilometers per hour. Okay, and a lot of students think, I get it right. But I'm sorry, it is wrong. Remember, I said when we do the average speed, must be the total distance divided by total time. Okay, so now let's take a look at this one. So this girl cycle, I'm not sure it's a girl or boy, okay? A cyclist to take 3 hours to cycle from A to B. Okay, with 3 hours. So Violet, could you please tell me what is the distance between A to B? Violet, you didn't turn on the mic. So I know you didn't do your homework, but the thing is, I already explained. So there's a cyclist to take 3 hours, so that's the time, right? And the speed of this cyclist is 10 kilometers per hour. So can you tell me what is the distance from A to B? Violet, I cannot hear a thing. Okay, so what is the distance? So distance equals what? Can everybody hear from Violet or just me?
I can't hear her.
Okay.
Can
So Violet, do you want me to ask your mom to help you to go fix the technical problems?
you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you right now.
Oh, okay.
So distance equals what, Violet?
Speed times time.
Okay, speed times time. Okay, for this equation, so do we know the time?
Yeah,
What is that?
3 hours.
Well, do we know the speed?
Yeah,
What is that?
10 kilometers per hour.
So can you tell me the distance from A to B?
30 kilometers per hour.
So distance is not 30 kilometers per hour. So what is the distance? You need to answer me again. What is the distance?
30 kilometers.
Yes, 30 kilometers. Okay, when you see something is kilometers per something, that means it's a speed, right? It's talking about in the specific time that how much distance could be covered. Okay, so this is a unit. I think you've been with me long enough. So I know that you are not following what I'm talking about. Okay, Violet? So first time warming, okay? So everybody, Cynthia, Violet already told us A to B is 30 kilometers. So this same person back from B to A, how much distance does he finish?
60 kilometers.
Very good. So from A to B 30 and back is also 30 kilometers. So together is 60 kilometers, right? So that is the total distance. Okay, so everybody, we know that when you go there, it takes 3 hours. So we need to find out when B back to A takes how much time, because the speed return from A to B is what? It's 30 kilometers per hour. So how much time he spent, Ariel, back from B to A?
1 hour.
Very good, because time equals distance divided by speed, right? Which is 30 divided by 30 equals 1 hour. So what is the total time, Serena?
4 hours.
Very good. So 1 plus 3 equals 4. So the answer is 60 divided by 4 equals 15. Understood? Okay. So there are a lot of students is having a problem using this one. Okay. So that is very important. So let's take a look at this one. So basically, number 2 is something similar. Okay, so I'm not going to spend time with that. And also the number 3 is also the same questions we discussed it in the classroom. Okay, so for people who didn't handle in the homework and said, oh, I don't know how to do that, I strongly suggest you go back to see the video, like the videotape of the last week's class. Okay, and just letting you know, because this is so I'm going to take a spring break. Okay, so you'll have like 2-3 weeks, like you don't have math class. And some students said, oh, math anymore. No, it's not like that. Okay, Still, for every single classes, we have it before. I strongly suggest you take a look at the homework and just to review something. And I will give you some homeworks and some practice, like calculation practice you to do, okay? So let's take a look at this one. This one, the distance between A and B is 2,400 meters and blah, blah, blah. I think this one's pretty easy, right? Okay, backwards. A train A is handling from city A to city B at a speed of 75 meters per hour. The same time, train B is handling city B to city A with a speed of 60 miles per hour. After 3 hours, the distance between two trains is 86 miles. Okay, so what is the distance between this city A and city B? I really need to talk about these questions with all of you, okay? So a lot of students gave me a good answer, but not good enough. Why? Okay, so let me see. So this is A, this is B, okay? So train A with the 75 miles per hour and train B is with the 60 miles per hour, okay? So after 3 hours, so I'm going to using the red one as the speed, like the total distance does the train A finish. Okay, Violet, can you tell me how much distance does train A finished? Okay, and also Emma the Llama, could you please tell me how much distance does the train B finish? Okay, so Violet, can you tell me? For train A, how much distance does train A finish? After 3 hours.
3 times 75.
Very good. Okay, Emma, could you please tell me how much distance does the train B finish?
Train B finished 60 times 3, which is 180 miles.
Very good, miles. Thank you very much. Okay, good job, Emma. So this one's 225 miles, okay? So Violet, did you see? This is my requirement for you, okay? You think you give me 3 times 75 is good enough? I like Emma's repeating better. And I believe you have the ability to do this as well, okay? Give me the answer, Violet, okay? Okay, so now we have A is finishing this one and that one. So a lot of students give me the answer is 225 plus 180 and plus 86. Okay, it looks good. Okay, it looks good. So you have an answer. But Cynthia, have you ever think about it? Is it possible they're passing each other? Do we say that no? 为什么？没说，没说 CTA 和 CTB， 还有另外一种情况是什么？看好了，小朋友们，这 still 红色的，对不对？红色的在这里啊。OK， so 嘟嘟嘟嘟嘟开过去，对不对？还是这样。然后呢，有可能是这样子。Get it? So instead of 225 plus 180 plus 86, so this time you need to what? Minus 86, right? Because you plus these two, there's a one part is crossing over. So that is a possibility that train A and train B still have 86 miles apart. Correct? Everybody understand? 对不对？有没有可能？ Serena, 懂了吗？ Right? So that's why this question actually having 2 answers. I'm not saying that the one who gave me one answer is right, is wrong, but it's not perfect. So now I just want to introduce to you that because we're learning math better and better, and there's a big possibility that some questions is actually do have more than one answers. For instance, everybody, 25. Oh, sorry. So A squared equals 25. So A equals what? Okay. So based on before it's 5. Yes, Violet, you're right. But A also could equals what? -5, because -5 times -5 also equals 25. Get it, everybody? So learning math, why I think math is very fun and interesting and useful is because it's established a way of thinking, a logic thinking. You need to think something back and worse. And you know what? Math is actually something really simple. Okay, let me tell you. It is something that you can find a pattern. What is a math pattern? Okay, Xinxin, let me ask you. When you're little, you learn from 5 plus 3 equals 8, right? Right? So you learn plus first. It's always then 25 plus 18 equals 43, right? Then later on, you learn what? 8 minus 3 equals 5, right? Then you learn 53 minus 18 equals 25, right? So this is plus and this is minus. Then later on, you learn 5 times 3 equals 12. Then you learn 12 divided by 3 equals 4. This is back and forth, correct? So math is creating a thinking method, is creating a loop that from back and forth, you can always go to somewhere you want to. Get it, Ariel? Okay, so for instance, when we learn 5 times 5, okay, times 5 equals 5 power 3, right? And how to do this backwards is log 125 and 5 equals 3. So it is always, so in math, everything is come up like paired. Understood? So when you understand this method, it's going to be very easy for you to what? When you learn something new, you will immediately think about it. What is the backwards of this one? So you don't need a teacher anymore. You can create a thinking system yourself. Understand? So I'm not sure if you want, when I was at your age, okay, do you know what is my dream? I dream there's one day like I can just be myself and nobody just telling me what to do and when to do and do what. I don't know if you're like me or not. Okay, I'm just tired of being like told by my mom and telling me, oh, you need to eat your breakfast, okay? You need to do your homework. You need to do the when, you need to do the how, and blah, blah, blah. I just sick of it. So do you know what started like, and then I started to do what? Because if I go to her and I said, hey, mom, could you just stop telling me what to do? And she would think I'm insane, right? She said, oh, just a baby. You need my help and something like that, right? So instead, I try to find out things to just like connection between each other. Like I try to find out how to learn math myself, how to learn English myself, and how to do the like Chinese and everything myself. So the more ability you have, and to show your parents that how independent you are, then they will less talking and let you deal with yourself. Get it, everybody? So everything is actually under your control. I believe that the more controller you have to yourself, then you can just get out of control from your parents. That is the sign of independent. Independent, it's not like just telling them yet, oh, I can do myself. You don't have to pay attention to me. No, independent is a sign that you can control yourself and you are the boss of your own body and they will back off. Get it? So that's the thing. So that's why the learning math is not something I want to teach you. I want to tell you like the method of learning everything. Okay, so actually every subject they connected. Okay, so let's take a look at the challenge question because that is something we learned today. And I just put it as a challenge. So I just want you to see, okay, if you can do it or not. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. It takes 40 seconds for a train to pass a bridge, which is 530 meters long. So Xinxin, let me ask you a very simple question. What does a pass a bridge mean for this train?
The train needs to pass the bridge and pass like its own, like whatever the length of itself is.
Very good. Okay, so train is not a human being. If we say Xinxin passing the train, passing the bridge, that is very easy because that is the bridge. Okay, so Xinxin is like that. So Xinxin to me is basically just like a spot. Okay, so Xinxin passing the bridge is just like that. So the total distance that's train travel, Xinxin travel is just a 530 meters. Okay, but we're talking about what? We're talking about a train. So as usual, usually, okay, train has a what? Has a length. 对不对 Violet? OK, 你有没有看到像一个点一样的 train 呢？没有啊，这个东西不叫 train，叫 bug， 对不对 ？OK, so usually 一个 train 都是怎么样的？都是有一个长度的嘛，对不对 ？So how do we count this train starting to move? Everybody take a look. When the head of the train touch the bridge. Okay, when the train touch the bridge, how to move it? 我应该可以 move. Yeah, 对 Auto moved. 对呀，对呀，为什么 ？Why？ 啊，反正你们知道啊，就是它呜在开，它什么时候啊？有些小朋友说他到这里就完了，no， 它还在 train 上，什么时候它真的完了？So the train need to totally pass the bridge. Get it? So this is the start. And this is end. So could you please tell me? So this is 530, and this is what? The length of the train. Okay, so everybody, the total distance does this 40 seconds that this train is actually 530 plus the length of the train. Get it, everybody? So that is very important. That is the total distance. Okay. So do we know the speed of this train? No, unfortunately, right? But we can say it's x meters per second. Okay, so it takes 40 seconds for this train to passing this total distance. So what is the thing? Serena, can you give me the equation on the right side?
530
Plus L, so that's the total distance. Distance equals speed times time, right? So do we know the
40 seconds?
so do we know the speed?
No.
So x times 40. Get it?
Yeah.
Okay. Understand, Violet? Okay, we don't know the speed, but we gave the variable to that. Okay, so now let's move forward. The same train, okay, this is very important. 如果换了一条 train 不行了, okay? So the train with the same speed takes 30 seconds to pass the 380 meters tunnel. So now we have another tunnel, which is a little bit shorter than the bridge. Okay, but the thing is what, no matter it's passing a bridge or passing a train, it's still like that. We do that and we end up like here, right? So this is a total distance for the whole entire distance, right? So it's what? Can you give me the total distance this time? Ariel.
Is it
Think a look. 你看一下前面那个
530?
第二个走的是什么？
啊
第二次走的是 tunnel 啊。
那就是380 380 plus L
Very good. Equals
equals time x meters
x
Five.
equals what? X times what?
5.
Where does the 5 comes from? So x is a speed, right? So take a
Yeah.
look. What is how many seconds does this train passing through? Take a look at the question. 题目.
30 seconds.
Yeah. So where did you get the 5? Where's the 5 come from? 题目里面有 5 吗？好了，那 this is a speed, right? So speed you need to times time in order to get. So what is the time for this one?
30.
Very good. Okay, so everybody, we have two equations. 530 plus L equals 40x, and 380 plus L equals 30x. Get it? Okay, so how do we do it? We minus it. 150 equals 10x, x equals 15. So I already got this one. What is the speed of train? 15 meters per second. How long is the train? So how do you get it? The longest the train is L. So how do we do it? 530 plus L equals 40 times what?
15.
530 plus L equals 600. So L equals 70 meters. Okay, everybody think about it, okay? So just remember, when you are not very familiar with those kind of question, you need to again, and said distance equals speed times time. So Ariel, if you have this one in your brain very solidly, you're not going to just randomly pick up a number like 5 from middle of nowhere. 我当时啊，我说啊，5从哪儿来的？What is 5? Right? So the thing is, number, they don't randomly coming up from middle of nowhere. And also, if you are in the homeschool, like in your school homework, like if you are giving some distance, sorry, you're giving some numbers which is not showing up in the question, that is totally not, the teacher is not going to accept this as a part of the homework. Understand? They want to see like how you get those answers. That's more important. Okay, understand everybody? So this question, I want you to take a very decent look. Okay, because that's a part that, because today we're going to practice a little bit more those questions. If you have any questions, please, you're welcome to ask me any questions, but don't fake like you understand everything. Xinxin, you understand, right?
Yeah.
Okay, how about you, Cynthia? Emma the Llama? You can ask me if you need any part. Emma? 懂了吗, Emma? Emma, I'm talking to you. You cannot hear me? Emma,
Oh, hello.
hello, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay, what are you doing before?
I was taking notes.
Okay, so when teacher's calling your name, you need to give me some reactions, okay? Yeah, so do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, so how about you, Violet? Serena?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, so if everybody understood, we're going to move forward. Ariel, you understand, right? Okay, yeah, because you are. So let's take a look at the. So let's just do easy questions, okay? So I'm not sure this one, is it this one? We already did it. No, we didn't do that one. Okay. So I'm going to just to give you easy questions to just to get yourself putting together and don't get too scared. So the distance between Richmond, BC to Seattle, Washington is 285 miles. Okay, train A is heading Richmond to Seattle, and train B is heading from Seattle to Richmond. They meet each other after 3 hours. Train A is 5 miles faster than train B per hour. What is the speed of train A and what is the speed of train B? OK，做好的小朋友发给我啊。Thank you, Shinshin. So this one is actually easy to check. Okay, so first of all, we know exactly the total distance, and we know that when they meet. So how to calculate 3? That's the thing. Okay, so 285 divided by 3 equals what? 95.
95.
So 95 equals miles per hour. Okay, so why I have this one is miles, and this is hour. So that's why mile divided by hour equals mile per hour. Okay, so 95. So 95 equals what? Equals
Average.
the speed, the sum speed of A and B. Okay, get it, everybody? Okay, so because 你看啊，这个朝这儿开，对不对？这个朝这儿开，3个小时以后他们认识了，对不对？你看你怎么求？Usually the question is asking you how many hours they meet each other. So it's the total distance divided by the sum of their speed, right? So if we divide by time, we get the sum of the speed of A and B. So that means A plus B equals what? Equals 95, right? And we know train A is 5 miles faster than train B. So that means what? A minus B equals 5, correct? Okay, so if you plus them together, so 2A equals 100. So A equals what? 50 miles per hour. Okay, so B equals what?
45
45.
45 miles per hour. Get it? So Serena, good job. You get it right. Okay, very good. So if you find the answer, so those kind of question is very easy for you to check yourself how to do it. After you find out B and A, you just plus them together, 95, and using the total 185 divided by 95. If it is 3, then you get it right. If it is not 3, you get it wrong. Violet, get it? Okay, so let's take a look at number. Yeah, so let's take a look at this one. This question is different. Okay, William Peng Peng. So let's take a look at this one. Okay, so William and Peng Peng are heading to each other with a speed of 60 meters per hour and 50 meters per hour. Okay, so 60 meters per hour and 50 meters per hour. Okay, so William and Peng Peng. So the distance between them is 330 miles. Get it, everybody? Please have those ones ready when you're doing this question, okay? So at the same time, there's another student named Jaden is riding a motor at the same time, same place with William, but with a speed of 80 meters per hour. Of course, motorcycle 比较快嘛，对不对? Okay, so let's take a look at this one. When Jaden meets Peng Peng, he turns back towards William. And when he meets William, he turns back to Peng Peng. 所以 Jaden 就是什么呀？啊，在这个里面中间不停的走来走去，对不对？是不是这样？是不是这样？对不对 ？OK， 好，他问你，When William meets Peng Peng, how many miles does Jaden travels？ 好，首先我问大家一下，这个题目他问的是 How many miles does Jaden travels？ 求的是 distance 呢 ，speed 呢，还是 time？
Distance.
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 Very good. Okay, so if distance is very good, so distance equals what? Speed times time. Correct, everybody? Okay, distance equals speed times time. Very good. Okay, 好。那我们知不知道 Jaden 的 speed 呀
80.
Very good, 80. 那现在就是 time 对不对？不知道对不对 ？OK， 那我们来看看 time 是什么东西。他说，When William meets Peng Peng， 那就是说我只要算出来 William 花了多少时间 meets Peng Peng， 那这个时间就是 Jaden 的 time。Get it, everybody? Okay, so it takes how long does William meet Peng Peng?
Is it 3 hours?
3 hours.
Very good, very good. So the answer is 80 times
3.
3. The answer is 240 miles. Good job. Sorry, Xing get it right. Get it, everybody? OK， 这道题目看起来很复杂，但是你们永远记得，我要求 distance， 我就只要去找 speed times time。你不用想，哎，中间他就来回走，好麻烦呀。你不要去管他到底走了多少路。You only think about it. Distance equals times speed. Understood? Okay, so let's take a look at this one. Okay, so car A and B are heading to each other from city X and Y. When they meet each other, the distance to city X is 50 miles first time. They keep going. When car A arrives city Y, it returned and towards back to the X. When car B arrives city X, it turns around towards back to city Y. So 他们就是不停的在开来开去 okay? So they met each other. The distance to the city Y is 20 miles. What is the distance between X and Y? Okay, everybody, please get the graph out. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. This question is a little bit different, but let's take a look at this one. So we have a line. So A and B is heading to each other with X and Y. Right? So city A and B. So city X and Y and A and B. So they meet each other at each other at the distance of city X is 50 miles first time. Okay. 我也不知道这个 A 和 B 谁走的比较快，对不对？ I don't know, but I just assume that they are like that. I just assume B did a little bit more. Okay, I can always exchange later. 他们第一次碰碰，对不对？ So this one is 50 miles. Get it, everybody? So that is the first 50 miles. Okay, so B, keep walking. And turn back to A. Okay, so the next time they meet each other, so I was right, okay? So it's A is slower because when they meet each other, so the second time, this one is 20 miles. Correct, everybody? Okay, so now let me ask you a very simple question, okay? So this question is hard. So let me ask you a very simple question. So when X meet B, 我不知道它一共有多少路，对不对？我只知道 when X meet B, X finished 5 miles and B finished I don't know how much miles, right? But for a one distance of XY, 这个 A 小朋友就是完成了50个 mile. Correct? 好了，那我想问一下，他们两个人一共完成了多少个 total distance of X and Y? 1, 2, and 3. Correct? Very good, Violet. You do very good, okay? Because the Y one's the distance. 那个就是什么？是1, 2, and 3. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. So in one distance of XY, A finished 50 miles. And because their speed is always the same. So with the 3 distance, the total distance of X should be what? Sorry, for A, it should be what? 50 miles times 3 equals 150 miles, which is the red line. And the red line equals what? The distance of XY plus what? 20 miles. Correct? So XY equals what? 130 miles. OK? 好，那我们来看看做的对不对啊？所以当 X 等于50的时候 ，Y 完成了多少？完成了80，对不对？那你看这个黄的部分就是80，那黄的部分80乘以3等于多少？240。Okay, so that means the total distance that Y finish is 240. So 240 equals what? Equals X to Y, this one, the white one, and plus this red part, the white part, sorry, the yellow part. The yellow part equals 130 minus what? 1 is 20 equals 110. So if you're using 240 minus 110, it still equals 130 miles. So that's why the total distance between XY is 130. Okay, I'm going to explain again. Okay, so this part, I know a lot of students are just a little bit confused. Okay, so first of all is for every single XY, A finished 50 miles. So that is a key thing. Okay, because for the first one distance, A and B finished. The portion of A is 50 meters, and the portion of B, I don't know. Okay, but because they all together finish 1, 2, 3 portions, so the portion of A finish should be just a 50 times 3 equals 150 miles. But let's take a look at this one. 150 is exactly the red line covers the distance. Get it? So 150 is the distance of XY plus 20. So 150 equals xy plus 20. So xy equals what? Equals 130. Get it, everybody?
Carrie,
Uh-huh.
can you re-explain the part where you say about like 1, 2, 3? I didn't really get that.
Oh, 1, 2, 3. Oh, see? So you see, when they meet, the total distance they finish is 1xy, 2xy, and 3xy. Because if you add all the red line and yellow line together, they all finish the 3 of the xy distance. 你看，这个完成了一个多20，这个完成了一个多黄色的部分。So plus them together, they're the 3 total xy distance has been finished.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's how we finish those ones. Okay, so this is a totally different this one. In this question, we didn't need times speed equals distance, right? And because you can take a look at this one, they don't tell you any times, they don't tell you any speed, they don't tell you anything. In this question, it's only distance existing. So of course, we're going to need a different way of doing those questions. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. The distance of city A and city B is 400. Two cars XY are heading to each other from city A and B, and when they arrive each other's city, they turn and head back to our own city. After 8 hours, they met each other for the second time. The speed of a car is 70 kilometers per hour. What is the speed of car Y? Okay, everybody try to do. 然后我去上个厕所啊，小朋友们。Give me one time. We have received some answers. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. So how do we do this? The distance between two cities is 400 kilometers, okay? So they are heading to each other. So how do we do this? So immediately, I want you to do two different colors arrows, okay? So just showing, so this one, so I'm using white this time. So A is heading to B and B is heading to A. When they arrive each other city and they turn back. So because they are heading to each other's, so they for sure first already meet one time. Okay, Violet, you can go to washroom. I'm not sure, like at this moment, why you're not doing this while I am go to the washroom, okay? So of course, everybody, you have your own thinking of when you go to the washroom. I'm not going to ask you to hold it. But the thing is, Shin, don't you agree with me? If she really wants to go to the washroom, she needs to do it with me, right? Right. So now I am explaining, then she's not listening, and no wonder she cannot do the homework, right? Correct? So the purposes of doing that is because she maybe want to skip for 5 minutes or something like that. I'm not sure, okay? Because maybe I give a Violet a hard time today, right? But the thing is, the reason I'm giving everybody a hard time is because I want you to learn very well. Understand, everybody? Okay? Because it's like I know how to do every questions with no problem at all, right? Okay, so let's take a look at this one. Okay, so this is the first time. So I'm going to put a little first here. Okay, so moving forward. Okay, so right, and this one coming back and just put it here like that. Okay, so this is the second time. Understand? So if you have this picture like made, it's very easy for you to do the homework. Okay, understand, everybody? Okay, so now the question is like, after 8 hours, they meet each other for the second time. So now I want to ask Sarita, because you asked me the question before. So I want to ask you, when they meet the second time, how many distance both of them has been finished? If I name the distance of A to B is like big A. How many big A's are there?
3.
Very good. 1, 2, and 3. So I can just name this one as 3A, right? Correct? Oh, sorry. The distance is 400. They told you already. I don't have to be A. So it's what? 3 times 400 equals 12.
1,200.
Yeah. Okay. One second. Okay, everybody understand? So that means during this 8 hours, both A and B has finished 1,200 kilometers. And we have already know that it's 8 hours. So it's 1,200 divided by 8 equals 150 kilometers per hour. That is what? The sum of their speed. Understand, everybody? Okay, so we already know the car X is having the 70. So car Y is what? 150 minus 70 equals 80 kilometers per hour. Violet? No, you don't understand. You missed the 80%, 99% of this question and you're still nodding your hands. Okay, so now let me clear everything and you tell me how to do this question right now because you're nodding your hands. Yeah, turn on your mic and tell me that you don't understand. You don't know how to do this. Do you know how to do this?
No.
Yeah. So Violet, it is okay that you don't know, okay? But it is not okay you pretend you understand. Everybody understand in this class? Okay? Like I was like you. Okay, everybody, I was like you. I don't know a lot of things, but the thing is, I hate my student. I don't care like other classes or other teachers, okay? But nobody in my classroom pretend you understand. Okay, so that's the last thing I want happen in my class. It's okay that you don't understand something because we're human beings, right? If we know everything, we're God, right? We're not God, we're human beings. It's okay you don't know something, but don't pretend. Okay, just ask questions. So Violet, because you go to washroom, so you don't understand this question, it is totally fine. You can just go back and see the video. Yeah, you're looking at something else, Violet. Seriously. Violet, are you looking at me? Yeah, now you're looking at me. You're looking at something else. I need to ask your mom to move herself inside, okay? Seriously, I'm sorry. I should tell you that entire of my classroom, everybody, you have my respectation. Like last thing I want to do is just ask your parents to be there while you're having my math class, because I think it's a violent for me and for you. But Violet, this is the third class. I think you're looking at something else. What are you looking at? Violet? Violet, what are you looking at? Take this thing away. Move this thing away. Okay? I don't want to tell your mom, but that's the last time I'm gonna give you a chance. Move the thing away from the computer. Or you're looking at something else. Close that browse. Violet, I think you're not respect me at all. I'm talking to you. You're not even give me any reply or anything. Seriously. And the whole entire class is waiting for you. Violet, what are you looking at? Yeah, now you're looking at the screen. But in there, like in the left side. Yeah, in the left side, there's something. What are you looking at? Answer me. Do you want to have the class or no? Okay, so you need to respect me. Understand? The respectation is both way. Understand? Right, Emma? Right? I respect everything. Like everything happened in this class. I never talk to your parents and never tell them, okay? I only say that somebody did a good job. But if anything happened in this class, stay in class. Do you know there's a sentence that what happened in Vegas, stay in Vegas. So what happened in this math class, stay in this math class. But the respectation is between us, two ways. I would like to be respected. Correct, everybody? Okay, so now we have wasted like 5 minutes. So now let's just go back to the class, okay? So now, this is the last part of this distance and thing, okay? So yeah, Xinxin.
So is 1,200 kilometers the 400 total times the 3 times that like the 2 cars like finish the distance?
Yeah, let me just, I can just explain again, okay, for this question, because this
Thank you.
yeah, it's different. So the very important part for us to do those questions is every girl should be really happy, is because when we do those class, you have the chance to do the graphs. OK， 我们可以画图，因为很多小姑娘就说，哎，我做作业的时候很喜欢 scribbling， 对不对？那妈妈都说啊，不能乱画。但是你在这个时候，你必须要画图。OK， so let's take a look at this one. So when they first meet， 我们什么？就是 train A 的速度加上 train B 的速度乘以时间，就是他们第一次 meet， 对不对？ But actually, the total distance they finish just 400 kilometers, right? And how do they meet the second time is because the train B keep walking and train A also keep walking, going, right? And then train A back and train B turn around. So they meet each other the second time. But if you see like the total distance is just the first one, second one, and third one. So it's 3 total distance. Get it, Violet? 你看这个红的和一个纯白的和一个白的和红的加起来是不是刚好3个啊？ Correct, everybody? So it's 400 times 3 equals 1,200 kilometers. That is the total distance. 好了，那 total time 是多少？他说 after 8 hours they meet each other. So that is the total time. So 1,800. 1,200 divided by 8 equals 150 kilometers per hour. That is what? That is the that's the speed of both of the car X and car Y. And we already know the car X is 70, so car Y is 150 minus 70 equals 80 kilometers per hour. Get it? Okay, so the thing is, 你们有没有觉得 Cynthia? So these days we like spend a lot of time just to think about the total distance, right? 我们需要把这个total time, 一样的 total distance also equals what? Total time times what? Times the speed, 对不对？不要去想它那个复杂的东西，把它这个东西提取出来 ，OK? So I know this part is kind of like hard. I know it's scary, right? So today we're going to talk about something about money, okay? So I want to ask everybody, do you like money? Yes, okay. So my question is, how to make money is a very, very interesting thing, okay? So actually there are two ways of making money legally, okay? 我们学 legally 这个 illegally 有很多方法 okay? Legally maybe just one, two, okay? So the first one is put the money into the bank and you can collect some interest. Correct, everybody? Okay, so the second way is use money to what? To buy some stuff. For instance, buy books for 10 books per one and sell for 12 books per one. And for each books you sell, you make $2. And if you sell 1,000 books and you make $2,000. Correct? So that is a very basic and legal way of earning money, right, everybody? So let's take a look at this one, okay? So if I have, but the thing is, both of them, you need to have some money first, huh? 对不对 ？OK， so 星星说老师，我准备存500块钱到银行里面去 ，OK？ 银行说呢，给我10% per month per year，OK？10% per month 已经不正常了，高利贷 ，OK？ 他说老师，那 end of the year 这个银行要给我多少钱？我说because 500 times 10% equals $50. That's your interest, and you have the basic of 500. So 500 plus 50 equals $550. That's the money you can get it any year. 后来星星跟我说，老师，但是有个问题，我没有500块钱呀。OK， 那如果星星没有这500块钱 ，OK, she will get 0 at the end of the year. OK, so you have to have $500. OK, so Violet said, 老师, I want to make some business. OK, so Violet said, I want to buy 100 books. OK, each book cost. So 100 books, each book costs $10. So I have $1,000 to buy books. And then I sell the book for $15 for the 100 books. I sell it for 1,500. Okay. So I make 500 profit. Yes, you're right. But the thing is, you have to have this first 1,000 first, or else you cannot make this 500. Correct, everybody? Okay. Okay, so let me ask you, okay, so I make a better deal, okay, I make a better example, okay, I make a better example. So for instance, it's 5, okay, so it's 500, and it's 10, it's 1,000, okay, so Violet make $500, okay. So let's take a look at this one. I want to ask you. So Shinshin has $500, okay. She decided to put it into the bank and make $50 in interest. Okay, Violet also had $500, but Violet put them into the business and making $500. So why Violet is having more money than Xinxin? Yeah, this is a very important thing.
Wait, are we supposed to send an answer to you, or are we just thinking of an answer?
You think about an answer and tell me by orally tell me.
Oh, wait, is it because Violet is like working for her money while like for Shinshin, it's just sitting in the bank because she's not
Yes.
actually doing anything?
Very good. Okay, so this is a very, very important in economics. Okay, so there's a saying. Okay, so let me just teach you this one. So this is something like in your math class, somebody would never tell you. Okay, so Shinshin is getting passive income. Okay, so everybody, what does passive income mean? Okay, so passive income, that actually Shinshin's not doing anything. She just go to the bank and give the money to the bank, and the end of the year she collected $50. So for Shinshin, she's very retiring. Okay, she's really happy. She doesn't have to do anything. Okay, but for Violet, she is having the active income. Why? Because Violet needs to go to the bookstore and buy the 100 books, which is really heavy, and she probably needs to ask help from her parents and said, could you please move the books for me? So they moved the book back to the home, and she needs to bring the books to the school and said, introduce to her friends and whatever. This whole entire process maybe takes 2 years to finally sold the 100 books. Okay, so looks like Violet's getting more money, much more money than Shinshin. But Violet also need to put a lot of efforts. Understand? And plus, Violet is facing a possibility that she cannot sell $100 books, correct? Maybe she get the books and everybody, they don't like it. So end up, she only sell 20 books instead of 100. So let's calculate it, okay? So Violet spent $500 on books and she only sell 20, which she get $200. And how much money she lose? She lose $300.
300.
But meanwhile, Shinshin, she doesn't have to do anything and she can earn $50. So that is the same. So some people think active income is better than the Okay, so some people think Violet's active income is better than the Shinshin's passive income. Some people think passive income is better than the active income. So can you tell me which one you like better? I'm going to
Well,
ask.
it depends how much work you're willing to put in.
Okay, very good. This is a very good answer, okay? So for me, I think, if you ask me, I think if you can have 50% of your income coming from active income and 50% is coming from passive income, okay? And when you're getting older, you slowly increasing the passive income from 50 to 70% and decrease your active income from 50 to 30%. So that is something is good, right? So the economically, we called it, don't put all your egg into one basket. Why? Because if you put everything you have in one basket and you drop the basket, all the eggs would have broken and you have no eggs left, right? But instead, you put the eggs into different baskets, correct? And each basket, if one of them, for instance, if Violet is having $500, okay? So she put 100 into the bank, right? And she took $200 to do business, okay? And another $200 she do something else, okay? Let me just think about it. 你要不要玩一会儿？还没到你上课呢。Okay? Okay, so then if Violet's business is going broke, okay, not working, but she still can earn $10 from here, and from here, maybe she double the cost is 400. So still, finally, she's good. And for this 200, she won't lose everything. She maybe lose $50. So get it? So put your money not always into one basket and try the different thing. That will be a good thing. Understand? Okay, so now let's take a look at this one, okay? So how to calculate the profit? Okay, so the profit is always equals the selling price minus the cost. Okay, I just using the Violet's book as example. For instance, Violet is selling the book for $10 and the cost is $5. So that's why the profit is $5. Get it? And we are selling also the percentage of the cost. Okay, for instance, we said the profit of a product is 50% for Violet thing. Why? Because equals what? Equals selling price minus cost divided by selling price. Okay, so you can see 10 minus 5 divided by 10 equals 0.5. So it's 50%. Okay, so please put these ones on your notebook.
I'm ready.
I'm ready too.
Okay, get it? Okay, so now let's take a look at this one. So let's take a look at the real questions, okay? Okay, so let's take a look at this one. A product is marked at a 20% above the cost price. What does it mean? If the cost of this thing is $10, then we're selling for 12, right? 20% more. If this one is cost for 20, we're selling for $24, okay? So then it's sold for 90% of the selling price. The profit is 120. What is the cost price for this product? Okay, so let's take a look at this one. Because we don't know the cost of this product, so we just put it as N, okay? But if Emma said, 老师, I don't like N, I like X, it's totally fine. It doesn't matter which number you're using. We just know this is the cost of this product, okay? The marked price is 20% above that. That means we're using this N plus what? 20% of this one. Okay, so that's what equals 1.2N. Okay, and the selling price is 90% of the selling price. Finally sold. 那小朋友说，为什么这个不是就应该是 selling price 吗？对呀，但是你们有没有跟着妈妈一起到学校里面，然后看到有个 sale，有没有看到过？对不对？有没有看到过有个 sale logo 在那边的？对不对？对吧？那不是每次都可以原价卖出去的呀，对不对？卖出去就要打折嘛，它就 90%。So 1.2N times 90% equals 1.08N. Okay, so the profit equals selling price minus cost. So 1.08 minus N equals 0.08N. Okay, and we know the profit is 120. So 0.08N equals 120. So N equals 120 divided by 0.08. So the answer is 1,500.
Carrie, can you just explain that part again?
Which part?
Like the last bit.
This one?
Yes.
Okay. The only thing is we know the profit equals selling price minus cost, right? So we know this is the selling price, right? So selling price equals 1.08 n minus n equals 0.08 n. Do you understand this part? OK， 那 profit 就等于0.08 n， 对不对？然后题目又告诉你 profit 等于120块钱，correct? OK, so that means what? 0.08 n equals 120, 对不对 Emma? But the question we want to find out n, we don't want 0.0 n. Now how to do this? So we just divide by 0.08, right? And the left side, we also need to divide by 0.08 in order to keep the equation still working. So 120 divided by 0.08 equals 1,500.
Okay, I get it.
Okay, very good. Okay, so let's take a look at number 2, okay?
Carrie,
Mhm.
in like these questions, how do you know which number to like, which number you should do like multiply or divide or like?
Well, in the earlier example?
No, in this question,
In the
like
question, okay,
these types of questions, like how do you do it?
So this part sold 60% fewer cans of soft drinks than bottled mineral water. Okay. So 什么叫 60% fewer than? So that means if the mineral water sold 100 and the cans of the soft drink only sold 40. Okay, so there's a very good way of what? You just put it yourself into a real number, because when we do a percentage questions, the hardest part is not actually you don't understand the question. It's hard is when you see the percentage, our brain is produce something like they're really against this number because it's not real thing. It's not a real thing. Get it? Like 100,000 kilometers or 100 bottles water, they're a real thing because you can imagine. But in your brain, you cannot imagine what is 60% of something you don't even know. That is hard for you to imagine. So that's the thing for you to, if you try to help to, it's very helpful for you to understand the question is just putting them into a number. For instance, the mineral bottle is 100 and the cans of soft drinks is 40. Okay. So the profit of each bottle of mineral water is 70% less than that of each of the soft drink. So that means if each of the soft drink you make $1 and the mineral water you only make 0.33， 那我这个时候我会把它变成10和3。为什么？你不想做 decimal 嘛，对不对？你整数会好很多嘛。他说 the profit gain from selling the soft drink is 1,200。好了，你看看啊。那10乘以40只有400，说明这里不对啊，那怎么办？我们换一换好了吧？那我这里变成什么？等于300瓶，这里就变成120瓶了。Get it？ 对不对？我说一共有300瓶 water， 然后120瓶 soft drink， 然后他们的 profit 还是10和3，可不可以？可以啊。那你看我10乘以120就等于1200了。So what is the profit gained from selling the mineral water? 300 times 3 equals 900, and you get it done. Get it?
Yeah.
Just to make them into the real numbers will help you to understand the question much better and much easier. Okay, so this is my method. And remember, I have told you, like when we're in the math competition, if the competition is having the multiple choice, just to putting the choice number back to the question and you just try it and you can find the answer as well. That is the techniques. 对不对？不用真的一个个算的，反正他告诉你4个5个选项，肯定正确答案就在这里面。Emma， 对不对？ 哎，我就把它放进去。我说，就比如说形成问题的时候，他说 A 到 B 之间的距离是400，那你就把这个400放到这个题目里面去，看看对不对。如果400放进去是对的，那这个就是答案；不对，那就是500，就是 A B C D，你每个放进去就可以。So that is a good techniques. Understand? So my league is what? We try to make everything the easier the better. I don't want to make it harder. OK， 那跟老师一样的，老师在上课的时候为什么总是盯着你们？因为你们上课的时候全心全意去做这个事情，下课的时候就不需要再花时间了，稍微复习一下就可以了。你上课的时候没好好听，这1个半小时你也不能出去玩，对不对？好了，下课要再花1个半小时看录像，你们觉得值不值？非常不值，我觉得 it's not efficient at all， 对不对？上课的时候1个半小时抓紧时间看好，下课的时候花半个小时复习一下，作业全都做完了，可以玩了，一点负担都没有。上课的时候偷偷玩，玩也玩的不爽，下课的时候再花1个半小时去上课，浪费1个半小时，然后还要复习，然后做作业，越来越不喜欢。数学真讨厌。But you can never really say goodbye to math, correct? And let me tell you, these questions, when you're grade 8 and grade 9, you're going to come back and do those things. So it's not like, oh, today I don't know that, and 2 years later I know immediately. 哪有这么好的事情？对不对？这个就像吃饭一样，你不吃下去就没力气，没力气你就干不了活，好不好 everybody? So that's it for today's class. We're going to see each other probably 3 weeks later. And I wish you have a very wonderful spring break, and tell me all the stories about your spring break, and I'm going to be really happy to share with you. Okay, Shinjin, what is the question?
Will there be homework posted on the Google Classroom?
Yeah, yes, of course. I'm going to
Okay,
post it.
thank you.
And I'm going to give you a little bit extra, but don't worry about it. If you have a travel plan or whatever, you don't really have time to finish it, it's totally fine. But the thing is, I want you to maybe take every day like 10 to 15 minutes. It's not really nothing, like, right, in your life. But every day, like 10 to 15 minutes will keep you on track. And when you're back to the class, you will feel like, oh, my teacher's giving me hard time. Okay, because I want everybody to love me. Okay. So that's it for today's class, and we're going to see each other 3 weeks later. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you, Carrie. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.